Unbelievable reaction today to the verdict of life in prison for the Parkland school shooter. Not a death sentence for the mass murder of 17, the attempted murder of 17 others. That was Scott Beagle's mom. He was one of the teachers who was so heroic that day, who lost his life. I want to bring in our guests. Joining us in Los Angeles, California, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert witness, and columnist of Inside the Criminal Mind, Dr. Carole Lieberman is with us. And I wanted to take some time right here to focus on these victims and what now really is the question I'm asking. And you heard there one of the moms, Dr. Carole Lieberman. What are your thoughts on that issue of what now for a mom like that who has those types of feelings inside?
It's very hard for the families. I have been following this case since the very beginning, since the crime occurred. And I watched his jailhouse interview and so on. And I think what makes it really hard is that the defense that was presented, the idea that he did this because he had fetal alcohol syndrome is pretty absurd. He may have had that too, certainly, but that is not. In the jailhouse interview, he talked about hallucinations, demons, hearing voices, and so on. That I think the jury, the parents could understand more if it was brought out that he had a more serious mental illness. So it is very hard for them. It's because it doesn't seem to make sense. He just had this. He had, he was unhappy as a child. Now he had a lot of problems, but still, compared to 17 people being killed, I understand their pain. On the other hand, to start blaming the jury, saying one jury member lied, saying, that they hope he gets killed in jail, in prison. That's not the answer either. The answer really was, and they missed this, the answer was they shouldn't have had this trial. They should have allowed him to plead not guilty by reason of insanity and taken the plea deal to have life in prison. And they wouldn't have had to go through this for all these months, and the jury wouldn't have had to go through this too. That's not really fair. They're saying all these mean things about the jury. The jury was traumatized through this trial, looking at all those videos and going to the school. I'm sure that they tried their best.